We are live.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome to the TuracoCreativeCast. Brandon, did you want to do the honors?
I was going to take over the podcast. So,
He's taking over.
So this isn't the podcast you're expecting. This is a completely different podcast. And we're sorry you turned in on our frequency, but Hatman and Coolio here, we have hacked in to the TuracoCreativeCast, and we've taken over completely. We've captured the hosts, and we're now going to interview them. And so we would like to introduce our hosts who are also captives on their own podcast. Francisco, woo, he's over on this side. And Anna,
Woo! It's a round of applause.
Wah, 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 wah. So welcome, captives, to your own podcast. How are you this evening?
Welcome, captors.
And
yeah, me too.
And just remember, guys, you can't spell Turaco without A-R-T.
Today it's like
And,
Turaco. Turaco.
Turaco.
How do you mispronounce it properly? Oh.
Without ART. Without R.
That's right. All right, so I'll welcome everyone to the TuracoCreativeCast. This is Frank Salazar, and our guests today are Brennan. I'm getting notifications. I should put everyone on mute. We got Brennan right here from Brainy Pixel Studios, and down there we got Ivan.
I'm not a Stevie Wonder,
Mercy,
but yeah.
From Mercy Way Studios. And right below me is Anna Robb from Dream Hatching Studios.
Just some random person tagging along for the ride.
And you can find right here, there's our link tree. So if you want to check out our stuff, our social media, there's a link tree there. It's the little ticker. So you can find my stuff, you can find Anna's stuff, you can find our YouTube channels.
Wait.
And we also got, since we have our guests today, they are promoting their Indiegogo. There we go. You can check out their Indiegogo right there. It's scrolling on the bottom, but there's also a link in the description below. And we're going to talk about the Chronicles of Faith and also just have a good time like we always do. And, you know, you want to kick it off, Anna? Just, what you been up to, Anna? Oh, wow.
I like that cup. I like that cup.
Very nice cup. Very nice.
Cool. I should have brought my cup.
Yeah, so here we have... I'm speaking now. Wow. Oh, okay. So I am part of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is the good thing of being captain.
So you're the co-host.
You can be part of the podcast.
So we have two super special guests, or captors, one or the other. And they're going to tell us...
Don't tell police the last one. Just say we are just guessing here.
So I shouldn't share the YouTube link over to the station local. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, now they'll go buy your book, and then they'll be pressing charges."
Well, as long as they support the book.
So why don't you tell us about your project?
Go ahead, Ivan.
Oh,
Here we go. You'll both be simultaneously talking.
So our project is Chronicles of Faith, David. This is the Indiegogo. We're actually trying to raise funds for the production of issue 2. We've been working on this project for a couple of years now, and issue 0 is already done. It's out there in the world. You can go get it on Comixology. Good luck reading on that app. Or you can also purchase it from brainypixel.com or from mercyways.com, and you can go read that issue you want. Or if this is your first time hearing about Chronicles of Faith, David, you could go support us on Indiegogo, and at least the $5 level or any of the other levels after that, you can get issue 0. And at the $10 and up level, you can also get exclusively only on Indiegogo right now. Issue 1. Never before seen by human eyes, except for mine and Ivan's. But you can see issue 1, and it is
it's premiering.
It is. It's premiering on this podcast. It's premiering. Yes, it is very cool. It is very cool. 36 full color, beautiful pages, no ads. Issue 0, 24 full color, beautiful, no ad pages. It's fantastic.
And tons of stuff you can have. Not only the comics, you can have wallpapers, you can have a sketchbook. And if you go and you say, okay, I'm committed with that, you can also be part of the comic. One of the perks, the last one, is going to be one of the characters inside of the Bible story. And you can choose to be a Philistine, or you can choose to be an Israelite who actually win, but it's your choice. We're not going to force you to do that.
Hey!
Yeah. We got Genuine Comics in the chat saying hello, everyone.
Hey, Genuine.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
We were just on Mr. Brink's podcast yesterday, I believe. So,
and he actually helped us and support us in our Indiegogo. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Wow, that's cool.
We were on Drinks with Brink on Sunday. So
Yep.
we had a lot of fun. So.
Okay. Oh, nice. So you've been making the rounds then, just going from show to show?
We have, I think this is our 21st podcast since we launched the podcast. So the Indiegogo.
We have not launched the podcast yet, Brandon. We have launched Indiegogo.
It's been a lot of podcasts.
Wow.
We just think that we already can launch one because we have so much experience.
Yeah, you've got experience. You're hosting the show right now, right?
That's right.
Don't tell the police.
And for those that didn't know or don't know, that we actually had a private meet and greet. I think a couple of weeks ago. Anna wasn't able to make it on there.
I was sick.
Yeah, she was sick. But that's why we're doing it now. She's better.
So Anna's gonna have
Mrs. H in the chat and Israelite.
Anna.
The wins
Anna had a lot of questions.
Hey, Mrs. H.
Yes, Anna had a lot of questions. I think it was on Ichthus's show, right?
There's going to be a lot of Philistine who's going to survive, but I'm not promising that it's going to win after all. So if you know the story, you know what is the right side, because you can survive the issue 2, but I'm not promising you will survive issue 4.
Oh boy!
Wow. So if you want to survive, you want to make it to the next issue. I'd probably choose the Israelites.
Well, you might want to choose the Israelites. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's amazing how personal this story can become, because giving the people the opportunity to be part of the comic is just part of what the things that we're trying to do with this comic. It's just trying to bring this story that can be just look like a story inside a great book that is the Bible, but you can actually take that story out and have a compelling, epic, and amazing story. And one of the things we're trying to do is bring that story for everyone. We just have the idea that everyone, and we also put it down in the comic for all people in all ages. We're trying to bring that story, and we're happy with that. It's a really an amazing project to be part of. I'm so blessed to be part with Brandon and co-working in this, and that is really, really great. And one thing that I can say is, if you know this story, you don't know this comic. Because you can actually say oh, I already know the story of David and Goliath, but I'm gonna assure you, you don't know the story of this comic. There's a lot of effort to make feel brand new and make it feel like
this isn't your father's Goliath.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. and you're going to build and understand a lot of stuff that maybe you don't catch right in the story, and we're trying to make that feeling alive. So I'm happy, really happy with this project, and we will hope to reach our goal and having issue 2 and issue 3 and issue 4 and all the 14 issues that we want to tell the story of there.
Cool. Yeah, that's something that was
wow.
really exciting to me, was hearing that you guys were really digging into the research.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
and
we
that is something.
absolutely are. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, and that's something that we discussed in that private meet and greet. So I don't know if you saw it, Anna, but they're talking about some
I'm about like
historical
1/3 way
places.
through.
Okay.
But yeah,
this is digital, right? For now.
yes, all the rewards currently for the Indiegogo are digital, and we did that on purpose because I don't know about the other areas in the world, but in the States we're having tremendous delays when it comes to print, especially print on demand, which is what we're currently using to fulfill our issue 0. Any sorts of delays in paper or ink or even electronics, like if a printer breaks down, getting the repair parts for those printers, it's causing tremendous delays in our distribution and delivery cycle. However, I did get some quotes today from a local printer right down the street from me who thinks they could potentially have some copies in a couple of weeks for us. So we may add some print copies if we can work the finances out. So there's a chance, but right now everything is digital, and we're doing that because we want to deliver as soon as the campaign is over. We want to deliver all those amazing, beautiful files that are massive in size, and that way you can print them out and do what you want to do.
Just like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay. Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. So this is specifically digital, and so later on, if you do a physical, it'll be a separate campaign.
Possibly, we may do a separate campaign, for a print run. It just really depends on response. Our main goal is trying to make these wonderful comics right now. And the love and the dedication, the time that we're putting into the production on these, it's not trivial. There's a lot of time, a lot of work, as Anna was referring to or inferring earlier about the research that we're doing. We're diving deep into not just the Word of God, but also into historical sources. We're diving into the histories like Josephus's history, into the Talmud, multiple cultural and historical sources, and also just books about David. I mean, David is a huge hero to the people of Israel, even today. And so there's lots of stuff that's been written about him. And so we're diving into all those resources. We're looking into archaeology. We're looking into, history. For instance, Yvonne did some amazing design work, pretty much based solely on some archaeological evidence and pictures that we found of what the Philistine armor looked like. Right, based on friezes and based on pottery and sculptures on stone that we found in our research, and that heavily influenced a lot of the work he did on the armies of the Philistines.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the things we're trying to do is, and I think is sometimes it's hard when you're reading the Bible, is have the right historical context. It's really hard. And that is the best way to read the Bible, because you understand better what the writer is trying to say. But one of the things we're trying to add here is trying to add the historical context. We're trying to bring with us the historical context, and that is going to help us to get deep into the story, help us to actually understand a little bit better. It's just not many people remember the David's sister, for example. He has 2 sisters, and not many people talk about it. Not many people understand what was the diet of the Philistine, and searching and trying to research, we find out that they actually eat pork and they eat dog, and that is amazing because that was exactly the kind of food that the people of Israel did not eat. And how they manage all that stuff help us to actually bring something that help to put you in that historical context. and you are part of that story, and you are part of the places, the people who actually live there, and that make a great story also. And you just add, just like Mrs. H say, it's a great way to tell the story, but it also actually is a biblically accurate historical fiction. And also, there's a lot of stuff you not find in the Bible, but it's just in the Bible. When you read it, you will know it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of there's kind of an analogy here. I don't know if you guys are super geeks like me, but I love watching the behind the scenes stuff, for movies that I love, like Lord of the Rings. All of the stuff about all the detail and the time and the research they went into fashioning the armor and the buckles, like the Theoden's armor, right, where it has all the stuff on the inside that the camera would never see, but it really informs the actor and it informs the world and it informs kind of the whole performance. And you really begin to feel that, it kind of translates through the camera right into your living room. And we're kind of trying to do the same thing with comics. We're really trying to soak up this world building that's from the real world, not made up, but it's real world building. We're trying to soak all that up and trying to let that kind of bleed through the script and bleed through into the panels and into the design of these characters. And it's our prayer that it comes across that this feels like we're kind of getting a glimpse into history. And it certainly feels that way to the team. And we pray that makes for a much better story.
Oh yeah, it definitely, when an understanding of the process that goes into it and the research and the depth that the creators have poured into it, that can really develop a deeper sense of appreciation in the audience for the story and all of it.
That's what we're hoping and praying for sure.
Yep. What Brandon said.
Where are your glasses, Yvonne? Your glasses have vanished.
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Genuine Comics is great cosplay, guys.
Yeah,
it's part of the shot.
Holy cow! Look at Frank's hat. Yeah, I haven't worn this hat on the show. So.
I need to get a cowboy hat.
One of these days, I should go get a cowboy hat, stick it on, and then stick the mask on it.
Absolutely.
No, that's what I do with the goggles. So yeah.
You're gonna be the
if
female version.
If people are wondering why I wear goggles and she wears a mask, because we also have a comic.
Oh,
very cool.
That's why.
This is actually the third mini issue.
Well, how did that?
Yeah, I made a mini comics. Awesome. This is the third mini issue, and we are actually working on turning it into a graphic novel. So this is a nice little starter, but now we're working on combining and retelling the story and doing our own world building.
Awesome. How'd that get started?
It started off actually on this show because Dale A here, because I would wear the goggles and Anna would wear the mask, and we just did it just because we wanted to. And Dale had said in a live stream once, like, "Oh, it's Captain Goggles and Mask Woman." So I was like, "Hey, I like that." And it right away after he said that, like, "Oh, that sounds like superheroes. I could totally make a mini comic." And it was just gonna be a one-time thing, but Anna had to like, well, if you're gonna make a comic about that, then there should be a cool story. So we just started talking, and so it went from like this little gag to just developing the story, and we decided that instead of just going from comic to comic, trying to like make up something, well, let's actually talk it out and build something. So we took the early ideas and we're building on that. And
awesome.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I'm gonna be doing what I'm working on at the moment is the first three mini comics. I'm gonna combine them and have them printed locally. I've already been looking at the printer and been looking at prices. So I'm just gonna cost. So I'm just trying to raise that money, but I'm just kind of like doing that outside of crowdfunding because I want to see if I can raise it locally. And because I already have all the pages done, I just need to color them. So that's gonna be the what I'm working on at the moment.
Awesome. That's great.
You'll be able to see you can get them on my Etsy store, but you'll be able to see it like all together from when I first started, and you can see like the art wasn't that great, and you see like the progress in each one. So I think that's cool.
That's
Yeah,
like
I actually just finished another little side story based on that world, and I just finished it.
Very cool.
This is 10 pages.
Oh,
nice.
Mm-hmm.
I did make a change, and that's what I'm gonna be doing in this version where I'm collecting them all. Captain Gallows now has a mustache, so I'm going back and adding a mustache on all of them.
Well, he could have been clean shaven earlier, you know.
Yeah, he could have been. What we kind of decided, you know, it would because people kept asking me because this is relatively new. This has only been a couple of months, so people really like it. And it's like, oh, are you gonna put a mustache on him? Like, okay, I'm gonna have to like, it's gonna have to have a mustache in every issue now.
Now's the time when you're glad you don't have 200 back issues, right? It's like, oh,
yep.
Oh man, you get the Sharpie and you just, or you send every comic pack out with a Sharpie. That way the readers can draw their own mustache.
Draw your own mustache. I love it. That's actually
that would be a nice campaign. Yeah, make sure if you grow a beard, it doesn't have to be like that big of Brandon, because you're gonna use a lot of the Sharpie.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I envy the Brandon beard. It's not gonna happen in my lifetime.
He actually teased me, and when we were developing issue 1, he said, "I've got a surprise for you," and I says, "What is it?" He says, "Just wait till you see the king of the Philistines." Oh. So I got the sketches, and guess what?
Oh, that's great.
Actually, most of Philistine has beard because of Brandon, because he writes the Philistine part of the story, and I was like, okay,
but I didn't write beards on everybody.
Well, that
even the women.
Every character, you're like, specify they have a beard. They have a beard. They have a beard.
Even the women and children.
Yeah, and the horses and everyone.
Yeah,
we gotta do that, Yvonne.
A little extra biblical there.
Yes, we need one little panel where all the horses have beards.
I just picturing that, and that will be fun. This come up
that in a tenant tale.
Yep,
we can do that in a tenant tale.
A character who also had Brandon beard.
Well, you can put a little story there, not biblically accurate.
That's just too good.
Yeah, we're gonna put like in the statement, say we take some liberties in some horses' beard. The rest is biblically accurate. We promise.
Records are fuzzy. We're not entirely sure, but they could have had beards. We just
might have been the rare bearded horse species that came off the ark. We're not sure.
Yeah.
Oh man!
But no horses were harmed in the production.
No horses' beard were harmed in the production of this.
Yeah.
Well, that is actually the meeting with Brandon. For that reason, I have no problem meeting with Brandon. Every time you just came up with that kind of crazy ideas, and stuff. And also, it's really great to work. We are in two different countries. I'm in Central America. My native language is not English, and he is in the States, and he has no idea how to speak Spanish. So it's really great how two companies in two different countries can find just the right partner to work with it. That is something that I am just blown away every time that I think about it, because it's really great to understand that we are just in the body of Christ. We are just one team, and a lot of people can do a lot of job. And we always this comic is just in Spanish and English in the same time. So every time we release one issue, is releasing the two language, and it's really amazing to work with another American story. Funny story is when Brandon actually said to us, like, we want to be part of that. We are a studio of three, just like the main people, three partners, and we have like other person who help us in coloring out. But we see the three of all and say, there's one guy in the state who actually want to give us money to work in a comic. There's two choices. There's the answer for praying, or someone is want to try to scam us, because that is the only two choices. That was the only two choices. And when we see the legal papers, we say, okay, this is the first one. Oh, that is awesome, but that is like, wow. And that is awesome. That is really awesome, because I thought he was a crazy man.
Yeah, everything started to get real when the legal papers came from the United States. That was like, whoa.
Boy.
But what's been really
and
cool
that is a tip to any creators. If someone's coming at you with a deal, make sure you see a contract.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always get a contract.
That's the lesson.
Even between friends, you must get a contract.
Yep.
We have a verbal contract, and we're gonna work on
making it more than verbal.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying right now it's verbal, but Anna's working on actually like ironing it out. So
you should say each other saying the verbal contract until the legal contract came. It's just there's no denying that happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's important, from a business from a business perspective. Gets me all choked up talking about legal papers.
Yeah, this is that.
Very
not
passionate.
You're the same way, Brandon.
I'm not funny.
Those lawyer bills. But from a business perspective, for all those indie creators out there, it's really important. Not only to make sure that everyone's on the level, right? Just to make sure, but also so that everyone understands what's going on. And there's a level of maturity of being a business owner, where you enter into these sort of agreements, and you want to make sure that you don't ruin friendships as a result of not having those agreements in place. Because sometimes a misunderstanding can destroy friendships that have existed for years, and that's the really sad part. So yeah, always get a contract for sure. And what's neat is actually getting to know Yvonne. He and I are so much alike. It's like we were separated at birth. It's just amazing. We love all the same kind of things, and we get each other's jokes, and we watched all the same cartoons when we were kids, except that his were in Spanish and mine were in English, but we all watched everything the same. And it's really great. It's a blast working with him, and he's an answered prayer for our studio. All of Mercy Ways is an answered prayer for us. They're just such amazing, talented people to work with and work for. And it's our pleasure to work with these folks. And I pray that we'll get to continue work together until we're old men in the old folks' home, writing and drawing together. So I think that'll be great.
Amen.
We're still debating. We're still debating on where the old folks' home will be. If it'll be like, middle, if it'll be somewhere in Central America or North America or somewhere in between, but we'll sort it out.
We should go to I don't know, or we can go to Canada, but or we can go.
You'll be cold in Canada.
I love cold. Here's always hot. I want cold. I have hot and hotter. I have no choice.
That's how it is here where I live in South Texas. It's the season is summer all year long. Sometimes there's winter. Sometimes it's cold.
It's just summer dry or summer raining, but always hot.
Yeah.
That is the
it's
two
summer
choices
or
here.
summer. So
Yeah.
Summer, yeah. Mega summer.
mega summer.
summer.
Mega summer.
Sunny summer.
That's a bad guy for you, Anna. You can have that.
Yeah.
Mega summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mega summer.
That's actually how some of our characters or storylines come from. We're just kind of like spitballing, or we'll say something, and then. But we are working on doing a really good story, but there's still gonna be some gags in there. So,
yeah, feel free to take Mega Summer. Just give them a beard. Make them a horse.
Yes,
with a beard.
they have to have a beard. A horse with a beard. Oh, that's great.
And glasses.
Watch out! It's very liable to happen. And we'll have like a little credit to you guys and be like, "Go check out their product." Go.
It has to have like summer glasses. Mega
then we could do a
Summer
crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're already doing some crossovers. Brainy Pixel and Mercy Ways. So there's some.
Oh
there
wow.
There are some Easter eggs in issue 1, actually, if you look real closely. Mrs. H will be very happy to hear that there are some very specific Easter eggs that touch into the Tenet Tales universe. So
yep.
Oh, wow.
She's probably gonna comment that she's out there. So
they're actually appearance and Easter eggs. There's 2.
Oh, cool. I like those type of Easter eggs, and we have Crimson Owl in the chat, and I actually have a cameo in his horror comic, which you can see on Tapas.
Very cool.
I love Tapas. I search a lot of comics there.
Cool.
Yeah,
excellent.
Ronnie, if you're there,
I like that logo.
Drop
It's
the
a
name.
cool logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Crimson Owl Comics. Yeah, he does a show too, a horror comic YouTube show called Comics de la Muerte. I think it's on Thursdays. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one.
Crimson, we may want to come on there. We may want to come on your show and talk about Tenet's Tales. There we go, Mrs. H. Mrs. H is a big Tenet's Tales fan. So
cool.
Yeah. She actually did this cool sculpture of the main character. It was really awesome.
Oh, okay. I think didn't you show that on someone's show? Or maybe it was mentioned.
I don't think I showed the sculpture, but because she actually has that still. So she did some beautiful pictures of it though, and I post them online.
I think that
nice.
I remember something about it, but
Yvonne's doing a Tenet Tales comic for me right now. It's called Salt and Blood. So.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe he's got one there laying. He could just show.
Here it is.
He's like, let me get it.
Oh yeah, he does all of his stuff traditionally, by the way, which is crazy to me.
I'm just going to show this is not traditional.
Oh, is this not traditional?
No, this is.
Look at that.
Okay. You got an iPad,
right?
Yeah.
Let me put the.
He's got the
it's
old.
Not late. We're not supposed to see it yet. It's like
it's too beautiful. It's like my eyes are blinded.
I said.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Yeah.
Oh
wow.
That's my boy.
Cool.
Is that blood in the back or just a nice?
Yeah, that is blood. That's it.
Okay.
And you can see has a beard.
All right, so I want to tell a story about that beard. I want to clear something up about that beard.
If you see Brandon beard, it has 2 silver sling right.
Just wait, I want to clear something up about that beard.
Just like Tenet has.
So, and you're not going to believe this, all right? None of you
really.
Yvonne is definitely not going to believe this, and I've never told this story. So Mrs. H is going to be very excited. I may have to actually get up and grab a book. But I created Tenet back in 2010, I think, or 2008, I think. So many, many years ago. It's actually, Tenet was created, the character, as a part of a mosaic novel that I wrote for a role-playing game company. So this was back during the age of D20, when you could kind of create your own video games and use the OGL or the Open Gaming License. This is before 3.5 came out. And if you know anything about role-playing, D&D 3.5, before that, there was something called the D20 rule set and the OGL, the Open Gaming License, and you could kind of create your own worlds and sell your own products under that legal document. Well, I was doing writing in the role-playing game industry then, a lot of it, and I was contacted by a company that wanted me to write a novel in their world, their campaign setting, and provide some fiction, right? Not game text, but actually to write a book to kind of expand the world. And so at that point in time, I had a group of friends, really good friends and brothers in Christ that I wrote with a ton. And we pitched the idea to write a mosaic novel, which a mosaic novel is basically like, it wound up being 5 separate standalone short stories that all wove together to tell a bigger tale. And you didn't get the bigger tale unless you read all 5 stories. And we could create any kind of character that we want, but we got to own those characters, right? They were in this world, but we could own them. The world was the gaming company owned the world, but we owned the characters. And so the story that I wrote, I created a character called Tenet. And the story I wrote was called Tenet's Tale. And he was all about truth, and it was only like he couldn't lie. And so I created this character, and it was a completely different version of the character. And at that point, I didn't have a beard, and
that is the part that I don't believe.
And I didn't have 2 streaks, because I've got 2 streaks in my beard now. And
we all know he was born with a beard.
There is photographic evidence to the contrary. And so but the character that I wrote had this beard, and it wasn't a full beard; it was a goat beard, right, like a goatee. And he had 2 streaks in his beard, and I did not have streaks in my beard, right? I didn't even have a beard. And so I wrote that character, and then years later, I decided I wanted to take that character and do something other than that story with it, write other stories and do comics. And I kept the beard with the streaks in it because I really liked it. I thought it was cool. And then when my beard grew in and I started getting older, I grew 2 white streaks. And so Tenet had that beard before I did. So it's not based on me.
There's 2 choices here. You're becoming Tenet Tales. You're becoming Tenet Tales in a couple of years. You will find out you're a fallen angel who actually, that is complicated. And your wife's not going to be happy. All of the other parts is you were born with a beard. That's the only 2 choices.
Well, I mean, which one's more plausible here?
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, I wanted you to hear that story, Yvonne, and I've never told you that story.
No, that's
that beard's not based on me. And it is amazing. Those 2 streaks came in.
Yeah, I noticed the 2 streaks, and I was like, is that character based on Brandon? No. Okay, that's cool. I have done that, but it's just like, does he always have that 2 streaks?
Well, I mean,
deep backstory.
If it was based on you, I can't fault it because I mean, this is pretty much how this came about. So,
well, I just want to make that clear.
Although we're like separating the characters as much from us as possible, they just kind of vaguely look like us.
I'm not a fallen angel, right? And although I try to tell the truth, sometimes I'm sure I lie.
That is something that a fallen angel will tell.
Probably.
Just for clarification.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go back our Indiegogo so you can see the Easter eggs in issue 1 that tie into Tenet's.
Okay.
So,
and then you will find out that story is just something that is going to be in the comic.
Going too far. You're going too far.
Okay. We got exclusives here on the TuracoCreativeCast.
Yes. I have never told that story on any podcast, so this is exclusive. Wow. Right? Yvonne didn't even know that story.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Wow.
Revealing.
You heard here first, guys. The TuracoCreativeCast. We bring you this stuff. So,
that's right. That nobody else can get out of those guys. So
yeah. So subscribe. You were not already subscribed.
Yes, absolutely. Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button.
Which we're close to 100 subscribers. I think we just need like 2 more. So
Come on, people, subscribe.
and then we can get the
Hopefully
URL.
They can get that cool URL. Yeah,
You can
Yeah.
do it.
I'm
I just have to make sure Anna doesn't change the name to something else.
That's what I just did.
We are now what?
That's
The
what I
Mask
just
Woman
did.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon changed it. He's
I
got.
smashed it. I smashed the
smashed
subscribe
it.
button.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Well,
Cool.
Oh.
Thank
I got
you.
another account too. I'm gonna go smash it with that one too. So
well, guys, I'm not gonna ruin. Well, I want to be part of the surprise, but you are already 101 subscribers.
yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
Whoa.
Another exclusive live. We
Whoa.
we got the 100 subscribers.
102.
Now,
I just smashed it again with another account. That's how you do it, people.
oh, and Mrs. H subscribed.
Epic.
Yeah, Mrs. H.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got
people.
like a subscription party going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. H, did you get that coloring book I sent? Just let me know in the comments. That'd be great.
You
Oh, yeah,
so
see,
you
I'm
also
just
ha-
a podcast. So
You
let me know
also
in the
do
comments.
coloring books?
Man, name something I probably haven't done. That's the challenge, right?
That's true.
So yes, so actually we've got coloring books as a part of the Indiegogo backer rewards. I don't remember which levels, but I think it's like $25 or $35. But there's one level where
35 is our coloring book.
and so we've got a coloring book based on issue 0 and on issue 1. So because we know kids love to color and people like Brandon love to color. So I love coloring books. But then also for Brainy Pixel, we've got a property, an IP that we're developing called Cubekins. It's a little kids show. It's an animated show. And we do coloring books for that property as well. And Mrs. H wanted one for her kids. So I sent her one.
That's cool.
Cool.
Because she's been very patient with me. She's waiting on a script. So I owe her a script. And she's been very patient.
Oh, and she
I'm
says
writing on
yes, she got it.
Yay!
Yay.
Good. I'm glad. I was getting worried about it. So that's good. Thank you, Mrs. H. And I will
be
get you
awesome
that
to
script
see.
soon.
It will be awesome to see just like people just posting that, because I was watching just some professional colorists just grab some coloring books and just posted some amazing art, and I say this could be awesome to have like something when you just post, I don't know, maybe your comic, Francisco, and people just, hey, put color on it, and that is going to help to promote the comic, and that is amazing stuff.
This version, this new version that I'm doing, I mean, it's the same story, but I'm just gonna collect them all. It is gonna be in color because the printer that I'm going with, they only charge for a color, so I'm gonna be paying for color either way. So like, might as well make it color. So this will be the first one, and people can actually see it in color what the characters look like. So when we have the graphic novel, where we're gonna change some things, but
where we
people
change
already
everything.
kind of have that. We change
get them
everything.
used to it one way.
And where you can draw your own mustache on every character.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what the Sharpie's for.
I'll have to do a special coded edition where you can just draw on and then erase it. And
That'd be awesome.
I'll include one of those.
That is a cool mask.
Words.
Her antenna were going crazy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She was tuning in different frequencies.
Yep. Little radio.
Oh.
Yay!
She started singing the slimy
turtles.
slimy turtle song when she saw the box turtles. Okay.
That is also really great about cooking story because they have like song and they're really good songs.
Thank you.
I
wrote those songs.
I was hearing
Thank you.
and that's really good. And that is, I think it's time when we just have to. I think all artists should do that. That you cannot only have like one media. You can explore a lot of stuff. It's just I have no idea. I have no idea about music, and I totally cannot sing. But the idea of experimenting, just like having music, or having coloring books, or having just musical videos, it's just you can expand a lot of stuff. Or having just like YouTube videos or the podcast, it's just amazing. You can not only think that, oh, I'm just going to draw and that's it. Now you can go and explore a lot of stuff. And it's really amazing. Really, really great.
That's one of the things that drives me as a creative is learning something new, right? Doing the same thing over again and over again is the most horrific thing you could ever subject me to.
And gonna get you tired.
It really does. It drains me. And I mean, one of the things I joke about is the world that I live in. I used to work in the defense industry in the U.S. government, and you would meet these guys, and they would.
He used to work with the FBI, so.
Well, all fallen angels have to work with the FBI.
Let me just clear my search results. Hold on.
Yeah.
But
he
guys,
already know where everyone's live.
These guys would go to work for a company, and they would work for a company for 20 or 30 years, and then they would retire, and then after they retired, they'd come back to work, and I would be like, why are you back at work? You just retired. And then, oh, well, I got bored. I'm like, I could never be bored, right? There are so many languages I want to learn. There's so many instruments that I don't know how to play, right? There's so many art techniques. And I don't know how to sculpt, all these things. I want to know how to do them, right? And it's just like there's a whole world full of endless possibilities. I could never be bored. Never. I always want to learn something new every day. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So please just
you mentioned the coloring books. I'm trying to look for the link, but wrong one. So if you go on the link tree for the TuracoCreativeCast, there is a link in there for my Gumroad where you can get the comics, the digital comics. And in the Captain Goggles Masculine Ultimate Digital Bundle, there are some coloring pages, and you can also print out a Masculine and a Captain Goggles paper craft. So that's stuff that I offer digitally, just because it would take longer to print out and send it out to people, but they can just like go in and buy the digital comics, and they get a bunch of stuff in there. Bookmarks as well. So
Anna's mask would make a great paper craft project.
Yeah, I
she actually
that.
has it on her Gumroad.
Yeah.
She has a template on her Gumroad, and actually I have it here somewhere. I made it and colored it. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yvonne, it was awesome. Yeah, so we there's a lot of similar things that we've been doing that you guys are doing. So like, it's given me the hope to actually can promote it and sell it, because I was thinking no one wants my digital stuff.
So somebody out there.
Well,
so maybe.
I think
people are selling bathwater and people are buying it. They'll buy your products. Don't worry about it.
That's true.
Touché.
I think there's always someone who.
I do have a lot of bathwater there, but like, I have to bottle it.
I think sometimes we just don't notice, but there is someone who is actually looking for something just like the thing we do, and that is where it's really important to put your stuff out. Even if you don't have so many fans at the beginning, you always have to put your stuff out, because you start to be showing people. People is going to see that you are making something, and that is
Yes.
really, really important and really great. And I always say there is someone who actually wants to read the stuff you are doing, and he never going to find you because you're not putting yourself out. So that is awesome, and that is
Yeah.
funny because that is how I met Brandon.
Yep.
That is how it
Oh.
just. That is how we met. It's just like we
What
met.
is up, total excellence?
It's
Hey,
65.
Itchy. I
No,
used
it's
to say
itchy.
itchy.
Itchy five.
Itchy.
That's what we
Itchy
called him
five.
when we were on
No,
his
Itchy
podcast.
five.
Yeah, I saw you guys
He's-
on his podcast, and that's how I found out about you guys.
We had
And
a
he's
blast.
an
That was so much fun.
amazing colorist. I was watching his stuff, and he's great.
Yes, yes.
Really good. So shout out to Icky.
And,
Yeah.
if I had the funds for it, I'd have him color the pages I'm working on now.
But
So,
yeah, Yvonne is exactly right. If Yvonne hadn't put his art out there, he and I would have never connected, and we wouldn't be working together.
Yep.
And what's crazy
Nice.
is back in the day, we were both working for Pathfinder on separate projects, but we never connected. At the same time,
Never knew the other person existed.
Wow.
Didn't know each other, never met, but later on, 10 years later, bam.
And I'm glad for that because you don't like that person that I was before Christ. So I'm really happy.
Oh, you would have hated me
in my
then.
life.
Yeah.
You would have hated me then. I was angry all the time. I didn't have a beard. I wasn't an angel. It was all this.
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
I
It
cannot
was the
picture you
beard.
without a beard.
Once he got the beard,
Once
New
he got
person.
the beard, it all clicked. Yeah, I was the same way. I had a lot of anger issues, and sometimes it sips in, and after that, nope, get over
it's
there.
the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facial hair.
Some people have told me like, "Oh, I would have gone along with you fine if we met younger, like in high school or something." Like, no, you probably wouldn't.
Oh no.
Man. People
high
met me in
school
high
me
school. They
was
want to
not
run
a-
over me.
Yeah, high school me was not a good person.
Yeah.
Not this guy. Mm-mm.
It's funny because
We're almost
you
at
turned out
the
to
hour
be-
mark, but I am interested to know how you came to Christ. If this not like a big long.
Well,
Go ahead, Yvonne.
It's long story, but I'm trying to make it short. I was a comic artist before to be a Christian. I was 33 years old when I came to Christ, and yeah, my story in Brandon it's just like one on the pair. But the funny story is I was working for Pathfinder at that time. I was making my dream come true because here in Latin America, in El Salvador especially, there is no many ways when you can work in art, especially for United States and especially for comics. There is just 3 levels that it's really hard to make it. And now I understand that God led me and helped me in all the process. But it was funny because I was just like living the dream, but at the same time, I feel like, oh, this is really empty. This is just like I feel like I need something else, and that is funny because I was waiting for my birthday, and my grandma actually teach me, and she passed this year, and I remember that she always teach me you have to thank the Lord every time that your birthday come because there is 1 year of life that He's allowing you. And the most non-religious person was hoping to pray God and say, "Hey God, thank you for 1 year. Just don't mess with my life, and I'm not gonna mess with yours." And the Holy Spirit is just working with me in that time, and I feel so compelling, and I'm start to remember how my life was, and I feel completely regret about all the stuff that I was living. I was not a nice person. I smoke a lot. I drink a lot, and living a non-Christian life in all the ways possible. And that day, Jesus changed me completely and make a lot of changes in my life, and also redirect my heart in all the places. So it may be a long story because it happened something familiar in the middle. One of my brother almost died, and all my family start to pray for him, and for that reason, I start to be part of that praying, and that's how the Holy Spirit start to work in my family. And here I am. I cannot do nothing to tell the story of Jesus for the rest of my life.
Amen.
So
Man,
that
that's
is
great,
just
man. And
long story short.
So for me, I didn't really grow up in the church. I didn't have parents. My parents were C&E Christians, so they went to church maybe on Christmas and Easter, maybe.
okay,
But I had a very godly grandmother who really did love the Lord, and she tried to take my sisters and brothers and I to church as often as she could, but it was very sporadic. So I kind of grew up learning a little bit about the church, but I also noticed as I got older, I noticed, a lot of hypocrisy in the church. And when I was 11, I think it was about 11, I was in church, and a bunch of my friends were going down to the altar and having this emotional response. And so I just kind of followed them down and had an emotional response as well. And people were telling me that I was saved, and I got baptized, but it never really changed anything about me I never really understood it. And so when I graduated high school, again, I didn't have a very good family upbringing, very, very rough family. And I left home and I went out on my own and was living on my own. But I was still searching. I was trying to figure out the truth, and I was looking for the truth. And so I read the Bible front to back. I read the Book of Mormon. I read, Hindu texts. I read the Bhagavad Gita. I read the Scientology books. I mean, I read the Quran, every holy book on the planet. I read these things and studied them, trying to figure out what was what and what was real. And so I had a lot of head knowledge.
Yeah.
But it hadn't really impacted me, right? I hadn't bent the knee yet. And so later on,
you didn't have heart knowledge.
Yeah, I absolutely did not have heart knowledge. And so later on, when I was in college, I actually met an angel, and later was blessed to marry her. And she was a Christian young lady, and she actually quizzed me before we were married, and she asked me all the right questions that a young Christian woman should ask her potential husband. But because I had all this head knowledge, I was kind of able to fake her out and answer all the right things because I wanted to marry this young lady. And so we got married, and she quickly found out that I wasn't really saved. And so she started praying for me, and some other people started praying for me. And we started having kids. And so we started attending church because we wanted our kids in church. And I began meeting these people that for the first time in my life were actually living what they professed to believe. They were not hypocrites. They were the opposite. And they were very much living sacrificial lives that reflected the glory of God, reflected the love and the grace and the mercy of God. And that began affecting me. In the church that we were going to at the time, there was an older gentleman there, an older saint, who for some reason God just gave him a burden, and he would not leave me alone. And he was just chasing after me. And he kept asking me to attend this thing that was called a deacon's retreat. It wasn't for deacons. It was put on by deacons, but it was actually a men's retreat. And so literally, I mean, almost from the moment I walked in this door, this guy was after me to go to the deacon's retreat, And I just put him off for like 5 years. And then finally I went, and it was at that deacon's retreat that it was in the middle of a sermon. And God just revealed to me the truth that all of my sins that I had been committing and hiding and, just kind of passing off as okay, that they were a personal affront to him. They were as if I had betrayed my wife, right? Or if I had hurt one of my children. It was like all of my sins actually caused him pain. And that it kind of just broke me. I was, just standing there, and I couldn't do anything but run to the altar and ask for his forgiveness. And I think I ran over a couple little old men along the way. I apologized later. But it wasn't even an altar call. I just went down, it's like, it wasn't even time. And I was like, I can't wait. And so And it was so weird because when I got back from that deacon's retreat, when my wife answered the door and she saw me at the door, she says, "Who are you and where is my husband?" She said there was something about me that had changed. And praise God, ever since then, I've been trying every day he gave me 33 years as a rebellious son. And so I've been trying to make those up to him by being obedient. And that's my testimony.
I think it's amazing how the story of Brandon and me is it started with a grandma that actually tried to put something in their son. And I see the story of Brandon and mine. It's just like, wow, this is really alike. And a lot of stuff that we're trying to do with this comic is just to trying to put it is the hookup with this story is the story of David, King David, telling the story of Solomon, and how important it is for a parent to actually teach your sons or your kids about God.
Absolutely.
And one of the things we want is people to actually do the same thing that King David is doing to Solomon. It's just trying to sit in your kid bed and read the story of David, read a comic with your kid, and try to teach about the story of God. We completely pray that happens in each family who actually had that comic, even if it's digital or it's physical. But it's just trying to put that in the comic and try to create a new generation to actually trust God. It's just trying to actually build something. We know that it's not going to be only Chronicles of Faith, but it's really amazing how another comic is just putting in the same idea. And I see how the Holy Spirit's working, because a lot of comic is just we're trying to bring people back to God. And that is
that's something that really awesome. I can attest for, because that's how I got not saved, but that's how I got interested in the Bible as a kid. I just found this comic that was I think it was like a Dennis the Menace comic, but Dennis the Menace is being taught about the story of Joseph. So I was at how old I was, but I was reading this comic about Joseph and being sold into slavery, and it stuck with me. It's like I always wanted to kind of learn, so I was like trying to find out different things. But it started with a comic, and I would even find the little chick tracks, and like so those got me even more interested, wanting to know more.
Right.
I want to be honest with you. I know that chick comics, and I was scared the half part that I read. I was completely scared. It just shocked me in so many places because there were hard truth in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out later. I think that God kind of just put the right ones in my path. I was like, this is the one you need to read. Don't worry about the other one. Because it wasn't until I'm older, it's like there's like some horror-filled ones. Like, oh my goodness, what's this?
And I really think,
but there were ones that made me think. Yeah. But that's what.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Brian, what you're talking about, like wanting to know about the different faiths. That's how I was. So there was a time that I was a Mormon. My ex-wife is a Mormon, so my kids are Mormons right now. So I'm trying to do what I can to teach them and part them. So I gave them the Action Bible. So they have that, and I try to
good stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. I really think it was. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You have the spotlight.
Go ahead, Anna. Sorry.
I think it was the heart of Mercy Ways for this story, and their desire to help a whole new generation learn to trust God. That really was for me to commit the resources and the time and the partnership of Branding Pixel to this project. That's really what it boiled down to. The art was phenomenal. They were amazing people, but it was when they told me the story of why they wanted to do this project. And they said, it's really about teaching a whole new generation that it's okay to trust God and to hear what he has done for us, hear again the stories. And at that point I was like, there's nothing better out there to do with my money than this. Let's go make it happen. And could not be happier, because now I've got a brother and a best friend that I never knew I was missing. And I get to work with him all the time, and I get to meet wonderful people like you guys and be on podcasts. And so, I mean, hey, I'm living the dream. Can't complain.
Yep. Me too.
I agree.
Retweet what Brandon said.
All right.
Retweet.
Me too.
And yes, the Action Bible is an absolutely beautiful graphic novel.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
I bought that book twice because I have two sons. My little girl said, I want one too. Like, you know how much they cost, honey? Okay, I'll get it for you. Don't worry.
There's one edition that came out this year that had more pages on it, and I was like,
I heard that. I saw that, so I want to get that.
Yeah.
For her, not for me. I will get them all.
I was hearing Sergio Carriello work in that Bible, and there's one time when he made 100 pages in 1 month.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
100 pages in 1 month is supernatural. It's just, I was thinking like, what? I just stuck with, I don't know how many pages, but totally it's not even 20 pages per month. It's just like, you can make 100 pages in 1 month. And if you see the art of the video, is really detailed.
Hashtag goals.
Just think, Yvonne, if you could do 100 pages a month, how many tenant tales we could get done?
The graphic novel that for Captain Galloway's Masked Woman that we're working on is going to be 100 pages. So maybe, Anna, we can do it in 2 months. Yeah. I don't know, a month, but
you can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just Sergio is
stick figures.
It's amazing. Yeah, you can make a stick figure with beers.
Yeah. Bearded stick figures.
Yeah, this is the international sign of bearded stick figures right here.
All right, so we've reached the hour mark.
Awesome.
I kind of want to share my testimony, but I want to stretch it out longer.
I know, right?
Well, have us back on, and then you can do that. How's that?
We could. I think that'll
be great.
A casual meet. Wait, you guys did the meet and greet already, but I wasn't there.
Yeah,
so you can do it all over again.
Which was ironic because we kind of reversed it because the meet and greet was so we could talk about Bible and stuff, but we ended up talking about the graphic novel, and now we're talking about Bible and stuff on the main show. So.
Yeah, we can have a re-meet and re-greet. How's that?
Yeah,
we'll definitely do that because this has been great. I don't want it to end. I want to keep going, but yeah,
we will regret we don't have the regret.
That's what we'll call it: regret with no regrets.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it.
Love it.
There we go.
All right.
Good.
So where can so everyone, if you haven't backed it yet, go and back on Indiegogo. Let me go grab it.
At least the
Chronicles of Faith.
David. Both comics.
Yeah, it's
right there.
There's not a small comics. There's the issue 0 is 24 pages, no ads, and that not include the covers. And issue 1, it had 34 pages with no cover in it and no ad. So just give it a try. If you want, you can reach us in our social media and we can give you for free just the preview of issue 0 and you're gonna get hooked.
And issue
In the-
one, we
in
can give
the
you a
story.
preview of issue one too.
Fantastic.
If you already
Alright.
have issue 0, we can give you a preview of issue 1. So just give it a try. We're trying to put like one thing that we hate when we were a kid. We just hate to have like comics that actually are not that great. So we want to try and bring all the great comics into the Christian medium, because that story deserves it. That is an amazing story, and it's epic. And I think David is just the first underdog hero. So we're trying to bring that
Oh, definitely.
into that, and we love you, and we challenge you to help us to keep doing this. And thank you.
Absolutely. So
Right on.
Yes, I will definitely back it. So I'll do that.
Thank you,
probably next month.
Francisco.
But I definitely want
Me
to
too.
back it.
Thank you.
So there is links in the description below. So check that out, guys. You can also check out their Instagrams and BrainyPixel.com. So it's all there. And if you want to get some digital comics of Captain Goggles and Masked Woman, my Gumroad is in the link description. And you can get I think for like $5, you get 3 little stories, and you get coloring pages and characters you can print out and bookmark. So go check it out. It's right there. And Anna, where can we find your stuff?
Subscribe to this.
Subscribe.
We reached tonight 100 followers. So.
We went over like by 1 or 2. So thanks everyone who subscribed. Brandon.
Thank you so much.
So so we're gonna get that URL in a couple of days. So.
That's sexy short URL.
That would be great.
Hit that smart button, and
where can we find your stuff?
To know when you are live. So hit that bell too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes, which we probably won't be live as often because I joined the church choir, so we're gonna be practicing on Mondays, and that goes into the streaming time. But it's for a good reason. So.
And then I've got janitorial. But
that's good.
Thankfully, it's a little bit later.
All right, guys.
Maybe.
Thanks for catching the show. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you, Ivan, for coming on. It's been great. We definitely want to have you on again. We are definitely going to do that re-greet. I think it's going to be great. And we will see you next time. Wait, I think there's a comment, so I want to make sure I get all the comments.
Stop
comment.
Yeah.
I think
my thing is being slow. I can't even get to the comments.
Right.
Yeah, I want to answer that question. His wife was inking or flattering the pages for Sergio Carrillo. I think the wife helped a lot.
That's awesome.
Okay. That's awesome. All right, so now we're gonna end the stream for reals this time. It's being slow on my end, so bye everyone. Have a Turaco day.
Bye everyone.